Souls Witchy Women Podcast, Episode 16, A Discovery of Witches, Season 2 trailer. Welcome to All Souls Witchy Women, a fan and definitely not official podcast where we talk all things All Souls. We're three women who met over Outlander and then jumped into the All Souls world like the time-traveling witches we wish we were. Hello, All Souls world. I'm Nikki, and my friends Janet and Ashley are somewhere on the screen there. And we cannot wait to discuss the season 2 trailer for A Discovery of Witches.
And by discuss, you just mean squeal for 15 minutes, right?
Maybe I could just do that. I could just giggle and scream.
Janet will ensure we fit some words in.
Well, yeah. Elizabeth in England. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Drink.
So the season 2 trailer was released as part of this year's New York City Comic Con, which was all virtual, which I don't know. The pandemic's been the great equalizer. Everybody got to go to Comic Con this year. If you haven't watched the trailer yet, it is a minute and 54 seconds of yumminess. We're gonna include a link to the trailer in our show notes so that if you haven't already seen it, you can go and watch it. Included with the trailer, there's also an introduction by Lachlan McKinnon, who's the producer of the show, and Deb Harkness. I'm not going to tell you who she is because you need to know that already. A great panel discussion with Teresa Palmer, Matthew Good, Stephen Creed, Gallo Glass, Adele Leonce, and Edward Blumel. And then there's a cool thing with Deborah and Lachlan showing some props from season 2.
Which was amazing.
Also, Lachlan's hair.
Be still my heart.
It wasn't a prop. I mean, apparently it's real. And it's just fabulous.
Why have so many things suffered in the pandemic and yet his hair has just gotten better?
You know what? I hadn't thought about that. I have pandemic hair. He does not.
No, his is glorious. His gives me hope for the future. If this is what it looks like to come out of a pandemic, Lachlan on.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So just a refresher if anybody needs it. So Series 2 of Discovery of Witches is based on the second book of the All Souls trilogy, which is titled Shadow of Night. And the book alternates between Matthew and Diana in the 1590s and new characters. We get to meet Galaglass. I'm just going to keep saying that. And then it alternates between that and modern times with the congregation, and then Matthew and Diana's extended family in the present day. So that's where we are. I don't even really know where to start. It was just so much excitement.
It was so good. It was so good. And I love that there's a fandom that sits there and breaks it down slow-mo, frame by frame. Like maybe you did that, Nikki?
Maybe. Like it was for my own comprehension because it goes so fast and there's so much packed into it. Like I watched it X times and I'm like, I still don't know what I saw. So I literally watched it on 0.25 speed. I guess that'd be a quarter speed, wouldn't it? And yeah, wrote down every frame.
And I'm super grateful you did, because I have a love-hate relationship with trailers, and this reminded me of that. The love is for obvious reasons. Like, I'm hungry for anything you want to give me. We've been waiting to see something. Now there's a lot of somethings all shoved together. And then I wouldn't say hate, but sort of the love frustration is, to your point, like, what the hell did I just look at? I don't even know. Like, it was coming at me so quickly. You're just kind of back and forth, trying to keep up. And it produces like equal parts, like, what was that? And also it can't come quick enough so we can figure out what that was. I have a friend whose profession is he is an editor of trailers for TV and movies.
Oh, cool.
I said, you do this to mess with us, don't you? And he's like, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Because it leaves you just like, there's just enough snippets and sound bites and none of them actually are sequenced together. So you have no idea what you're watching. And yet you're like, let me go, put it in, put some music to it, you're sold. And I'm like, well, to be fair, I think we were all sold on the content before it ever one frame of it aired.
Right.
But just to see it and to have more, and I know Janet got to see a lot of costumes and that made her happy. But I was very grateful, Nikki, for your frame by frame breakdown because it made me feel less crazy.
I do have a quibble with something, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, okay.
I do. Anyway, which only a nerd would have, but anyway.
Oh God. Okay.
There was a
I mean,
costume out of order. I can feel it. Something was posed as Elizabethan and it doesn't fall into the time period. Oh. Ding, 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 ding.
no. Are you
I'm guessing.
wanna
That
wait?
feels very Janet-like. And
Maybe, or we could start with the words right throughout the screen, or how would you like to do this?
So one of the things that I was struck by are the title cards, which normally I don't really pay much attention to, but there was clearly a parallel between what they were doing with the episodes last season and what they're doing with this trailer. And so the cards that show up in this trailer are the words on the cards are everyone craves it, everyone fears it, everyone fights for it, and then the final one is everyone wants power. And I was just sort of struck by that because that's not that that tells us that the theme is power, and that's not necessarily what my takeaway from the book was power. And it sort of made me, I don't know, think about some of the things that happen in a different sort of way. I mean, certainly it's Diana coming into her power, but
Yes.
so I get that part, but it just it made me sort of rethink how I have framed the book in my own mind.
Well, one of the I thought that was really interesting when you sort of put that out, and it got me thinking about it. And certainly, some of the people are driven by power, like Gilbert and Gerbert rather, and Knox, and they want control, which is ultimate power, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Matthew and Diana and some of the people who are working on their team, they're more interested in sort of expanding kind of the universe of how creatures get along,
Right.
about a leveling of power on some levels, although of course they want to be the ones to get it to happen, so that gives you a certain amount of power.
Sure.
By that control, right? But it's just there's a little bit of a tweak on that, which I just thought was interesting, and I hadn't really been thinking about it the same way, but based on sort of this setup, I think, anyway, that's what came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, in the trailer you only see like little snippets of Knox, and you're just like, yeah, we do know there are going to be 2.5 episodes in contemporary times. That was, Deb said that in maybe a Facebook Live or something that I watched after the trailer.
yeah, and they said it as part of that intro that Lachlan and Deb gave, because I was excited. I hadn't heard yet that there were 10 episodes. That made me very excited.
Yeah.
So we got an extension from 8 to 10, which is great. And she had mentioned that the two allow them more time to flesh out the stories in contemporary time that are taking place concurrently. So that's great, because I know, the idea of unpacking that book and, bringing it, adapting it to screen and reducing it down to 8 episodes is enough of a challenge. 10 is enough of a challenge, to be honest, but getting a little bit more time with them is welcome news to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So since we're doing this as sort of our first time doing this kind of thing, and also we're doing it as sort of like our top hits on this, rather than our usual pithy, not pithy, but our usual sort of loquacious selves.
I would throw pithy in there too.
Yeah.
I think I would. Yeah.
What were some of your favorite moments in the trailer? or the ones that got you? When was your first squeal, I guess? Past after the opening, where of course everybody's squealing.
Well, there was Lachlan's hair. Oh no, wait, that wasn't in the trailer.
Oh God, this guy's gonna think we're stalkers. Anyway,
Hair stalkers. There's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I should be clear. I
subtle.
don't. I'm very confused about this because I feel very strongly about not objectifying people, but hair is. I mean, that's different, right?
I agree. In the same way we objectify and just love to consume all of Deb's shoes and accessories. So
Right.
we're just
Right.
noticing the finer details.
Right. I'm going to say a favorite moment for me. Can I do
Okay.
that? Well, Diana and that ruff at the end.
I know.
The reason I want to say that is because your hair was fabulous also. But
Yeah.
that thing is effing awesome. That thing is amazing.
So I struggled a little bit with when you asked what was the first time you squealed, because I mean there were some moments through the trailer, but that ending with her, with that door opening and that focus on her in that amazing outfit, my jaw just hit the floor. It was amazing.
Yes. No. I mean, that thing is, first of all, costume people. Oh my God. That was super intricate, but oh my God, that's gorgeous. And there's been a lot of chatter. Is it the wedding dress? Is it the dress she wore to Queen Elizabeth's? I'm pretty sure it's a wedding dress, but that's me. But oh God, that was gorgeous. And she was so gorgeous. Did anybody else look at her and say, oh, Carrie Russell?
I thought, oh, that she looks like Carrie Russell. I
Oh.
had moments of just feeling like Kate Blanchett from Elizabeth. That's what popped up for me. I mean, minus the
Yeah.
real estate forehead, but that's what I was. First of all, she came out and it was just like this ominous light comes out with her as she does it, the white and the whole thing. It was incredible. I thought immediately of you, Janet, because I knew that that was going to just grab your heart and never let go. But I can see she looks like she and Carrie Russell have a very similar look. In normal time to me. First of all, with the gorgeous thick locks of hair that can be can be adapted in whatever way you need them, but they have like very similar bone structure and skin tone and that sort of thing. But for me, when it popped up, I just thought I was looking at the poster for when Kate Blanchett played Elizabeth.
I mean, it was stunning. It was just stunning on all levels. I'm very excited about the costumes. Like, super excited about the costumes.
Yeah.
Excited about the first glimpses, which we saw in, some stills or whatever when they released them. But they've done an amazing job of creating Elizabethan London, and it's going to be amazing. That's all I can say about that. So about that.
So I was so glad that this isn't the trailer, but I was so glad in the sneak peek they showed how they created Elizabethan England, because that's something that they showed us last year at the con in Cardiff, and I came back and talked to you guys about it, and I knew that there was no way I was ever doing it justice. So I was glad that you got to see it, Janet, because it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I suspect I know what part Nikki's going to squeal at, so I'll choose I'll leave it just for you.
Okay.
But I actually got really excited to finally see some of the footage of Sheila Hancock as Goody Alsop. I just think she looks like she's going to be dynamic in the role. I'm not familiar with her as an actor, but when she appeared in those frames, I just kind of went, yeah, that's her. That's exactly who I was picturing when I read this book. And to watch her and Diana's relationship, kind of develop as it does, and just to have the dynamic that they have, I looked at her and thought, oh my God, the two of them sharing screens together, sharing together is going to be just incredibly fun to watch. Yeah. So seeing her in different variations and how perfectly cast she looks to me, which this whole thing, I think part of the trailer for me was we read in name only who some of the new additions to the cast were. And you kind of go, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But to see them in their element, in the costume, in character, in the context of what we're going to see, just brought it all to life that much more. So I think just generally pulling back and seeing everyone for the first time as they were meant to be in this story, playing the characters that we know many of only by page only, and sort of putting that face and voice to them was really special for me.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I love that Gallaglass, apparently, like, I don't know, falls from the sky or something at some point in the trailer, right?
As angels
So
do.
was that Gallaglass falling through
Well,
something?
I believe that was totally Gallaglass falling from, like, whatever into
It was a lot of hair. It was a lot of hair falling, jumping. Hell, I don't know.
So do you think he's gonna say auntie
Yes.
or auntie?
Oh, auntie. I don't know. He'll say
I'm trying to think of that time period too. Like,
it won't be auntie. It
I
won't.
don't think so
no.
either. I think if it were in modern day time, maybe auntie. Maybe we've, sort of casually evolved it to auntie, but I feel like in the context of Elizabethan England, it'll be auntie.
All right, well, now we can wait and see. Because
I
this
guess.
is what happened in my brain. So there you go.
I'm just trying to remember how that word gets pronounced in my house, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm here to accept it however it comes out of his mouth. I'm very excited either way. It was so good to see Stephen Cree again. I promise, Nikki, this is going to be your section. But I, as the Outlander lovers that we are, P.S. I was the bit about the stone circle that pops up in the trailer. I was like, oh no, someone's going to touch it. Is that how we're getting back? Wait, I thought we were upstairs in the attic and we left. Did we go through the stones? We've mixed shows. I'm confused. But when he popped up, I just had this moment where I was like, I didn't realize how much I'd missed you from Outlander or from anything until here you are again. So yeah.
That's not even my moment. I know it's a shock.
It is a shock because I was going to make us do a drinking game wherein if Elizabethan England for Janet makes us all drink Gallaglass, just officially makes us all have to drink more for you.
He's who I'm looking most forward to. That everything about Gallaglass, the relationship with Matthew and Diana and all of that. Looking forward to all of that. But the thing that really made me sort of gasp was James Purefoy when he's up close to Diana and he just looks at her and says, "You are power." And I just got all kinds of goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm super excited about Philippe on the screen.
Because I don't think those are words he said to her in the book. But you just know he is a powerful he is a powerful vampire, and he holds so much power over his family then in 1590s and even in the present day when he's not even there anymore. And so you know how powerful he is, and for him to look at her and to verbally recognize her power, I just thought was very, very cool.
Yeah, no, his voice alone. He's got I think it's his voice at the beginning or whatever. And yeah, his voice alone. He had me at his voice, and then I saw him, and I was like, yeah, that works.
It's gonna work.
Yeah.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work well.
He's gonna be really good. So what else?
Here's the piece that was missing for me, and maybe I swear I do like pure content, but I felt like there wasn't any, unless I'm not remembering. I'll have to go watch Nikki in the quarter speed frame by frame with Nikki's cliff notes. But I didn't feel like they were like hinting at any like real moments of intimacy that I saw, unless I'm like kind of misremembering. Like now we know they're together, they're a couple. I'm not saying I need to see anything full flat out, but there was just like a couple moments of like tenderness or touching or something, but just like the whole thing was just like, we're going to be on a 0 to 60 in 10 episodes, or 0 to 200, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
of speed. And there will be no sort of like moments of just calm and settle. And we're still trying to find each other as a couple. So I felt like the whole thing, and again, trailer, so this is what happens. But the whole thing was, here we go for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and there will be no time. Keep all your hands and feet inside the vehicle, and I hope you're wearing a safety belt. But there was no sort of calmer moments of intimacy that we've come to be familiar with them.
The trailer, the reason
Tabitha's here.
Always.
Tabitha's right. Is to build sort of momentum for people who maybe haven't even seen the show. You know, I mean, so they have to build sort of this sort of frenetic pace to it, I think. There was a moment of intimacy in the dancing.
That's true.
Which is my quibble.
Oh, do tell.
Didn't see that coming. It's in the dance.
Oh.
Not, well, we'll see what they do, but what we saw,
oh,
not an authentic Elizabethan way of dancing. And I know this, well, again, there could be something on either side of it, obviously, but just based on that, it was much more sort of harkening back to the dancing in September, which was contemporary. And, you know, they should have been doing something much more like a Pavane or a Galliard. And really the sexuality behind dance at this period was very much sort of on your, how athletic you were. These Galliards were very much sort of how high can you jump, and sort
there
of
should have been more skipping.
and also just a hint of touching. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Were there, and I'm like trying to remember. You what?
That is how nerdy I am.
I actually took notes. I was like, I don't know either of those, but note to self, learn basic dances, also those. I don't think you're nerdy at all. You add depth to this with your historical knowledge that I readily soak up. So please don't stop doing that. But were there others behind them? Because there is a case to be made that they were sort of having that intimate moment behind closed doors, like remembering, remember that time?
Yeah.
So I would love that if they were like, times have gotten difficult. Remember how we danced? And they would dance as they feel comfortable dancing and not trying to keep up appearances around others.
Yes, because of course Diana has a lot of things she has to learn while she's in 1590s England, and you know, dancing is probably not at the top of the list. I mean, well, in the book, you know, they didn't even want her to talk to anybody because her talking was so strange.
Mm-hmm.
So, much less, you know, all the witch stuff. So, yes, that's probably a good point, Ashley.
I just saw it, and the only thing I thought of was it's a parallel to the dance that they had at Septours twice.
Yeah,
but when you mentioned it sort of clicked that no, that was not the way they would have danced. But interesting.
Well, I really, really want to see like a big, like if they do the Christmas feast at all, you know, it could be just such wonderful spectacle. It would also be like a huge thing to have to put together.
Oh yeah.
Right. And all of that. But I would just love that. So, you know, anyway, we'll see.
I'm just thinking, I hope I never have to learn how to dance to save my life. Literally to save my life, because I'm just done.
Is that in any time period? Because that's for me in this time period, let alone to be sent back and have to do the Galliard or the what? Pavane.
Right. Relying on my athleticism.
Well,
no.
You may or may not know this about me, but now you will know. I actually studied Renaissance dance in college, and I actually taught Renaissance.
Seriously? What don't you do?
Well, no.
I'm confused. This is incredible.
This has never come out in a conversation with us before.
She's the largest onion I've ever encountered. Just keep peeling and peeling and peeling.
Yeah, so anywho. Side note, anyhow. I thought the brief image we had of Queen Elizabeth was fascinating, because it is, in the book, she's an aging Queen Elizabeth. I don't remember her exact dates in real life, but she clearly is jealous of Diana, and Matthew is clearly a very special person to her, and she was somebody who, definitely reveled in people, and men in particular admiring her. And they did not make her. They made it clear that this was an aging Elizabeth, and I think that's interesting because I think it'll make the dynamic there more intriguing, because Diana will be more of a threat to her. Anyway,
Ridden hard and put up wet was the description that I would have of her.
what was that? Wait.
Were those the casting notes for finding the right Elizabeth, but not the one you're thinking, the one that's been ridden hard and put up wet? It's nice.
That's what you said. Okay, so moving along.
Elizabethan life be hard. You know what was aging very well? Matthew's facial hair. Can I just say that there was, because we've got to grow our beard back, so we're not concerned. Did we shave it because we had a fever? Remember that? Why do you look so different? Because he wouldn't have been clean shaven. So there were some brief glimpses of him with facial hair, and I thought he looked striking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you had the leather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is going to be just viewing, period.
Yeah, and apparently he was quite fond of that. Matthew Good was fond of that piece of wardrobe, and
I could see that.
I applaud him on that.
Yeah.
One of the other things I was thinking about is Matthew's voiceover in season 1, that it begins all of the episodes. Once the world was full of wonders. No, I won't do the whole thing, but you know the thing, right? And I don't know if they're going to do this, but certainly in the voiceover for the trailer, it sounds like it's Philippe's voice. And I think that's really cool, because in Matthew's voiceover in season 1, he says, "But as my father used to say, in every ending, there's a new beginning." And it sounds like Philippe doing voiceover in this trailer, which I hope goes into the voiceover for the episodes. But he says, "An ancient prophecy, it tells of a witch who will change the destiny of all creatures, will alter our understanding of life." And I really liked that sort of continuation, father son. Last season Matthew told us about his father. This season we get to hear his father speak.
Yeah.
I hope you are spot on about that. I really hope you, just for them to have carried that through and connected it would be really, really special. And his voice should be heard on voiceovers, both of them. I mean, generally I'll listen to anyone from the UK, Australia, anywhere from Europe, really, just generally speak and provide voiceover. But his voice has such like it commands power just to listen to it. So regardless of the words, but then add those to be the words that he's using to lure us in. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm there. I'm here for it.
I agree. I liked the special effects that we saw, which weren't a ton, but I thought I loved sort of the threads with Diana. And I also liked how in the sky that goes across, they sort of evoked the arrow as it went across with sort of a half circle kind of thing when it's just at the beginning, which I just thought was smart.
Okay, I did not notice that.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe watch for. I'm super excited. I'm glad they didn't show us, but I am super excited to see Cora. However,
yeah.
Goes up.
Yes, we need some Cora.
Yes.
I think it's really smart that they didn't, now that you've pointed that out, because that would almost, I don't know. I think that runs the risk of people being like, "Oh, that's it," or something, as opposed to it being a special reveal moment for you to discover it in the episode as the first one, as Cora makes her appearance. But I think that would be the thing that could get picked apart, is how the special effects worked out for that. So I think it's smart that they left it as a hidden gem for us to find all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Other highlights?
I just what you said about the special effects. I loved that at the very end, Diana just flicks her wrist and fire shoots something. Loved that. I thought it was a
I,
great way to end it.
I want that power.
Me too. I often try. It does nothing. It just smells like essential oil. It does nothing.
I'm gonna flick you.
Yeah. Yeah. And people are like, oh, calm. Thank you. And I'm like, no. Oh. Or maybe I take it that direction.
Maybe that's enough. Calm.
We saw a hint of the barn thing, the barn fight. So that's, I mean, they had to put that in, but there was a hint of that in the trailer, which is great.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There was a hint of Kit.
Beating the shit out of each other. Well, actually, they weren't beating the shit out of each other. They were stabbing each other, is what they were doing.
Lessons were being taught.
There you go.
So.
Tough love with a sword.
Exactly, which you can do when you instantly repair. So.
Yeah.
Also good. A moment of Kit, who I'm really going to be interested to see how that works.
The what?
Kit Marlowe.
Oh.
Him with like a woman's face, and then he has a gun, a pistol.
Yeah, I don't.
Also, like some weird thing with like Matthew's face and like some like monster. I mean, it wasn't a monster; it was a person, but it was like one split second of, and I'm like, what is that? Who is he doing?
I thought maybe Louisa. Yeah. I don't know. And then there was one scene where there was just a lot of punching. I don't know. There was just running and punching, and I don't know what was happening there.
Yeah.
The trailer made me tired. Everyone was just on high performance mode, just running and chasing and punching and riding horses, and just made me tired and really excited. I mean, think of if it does all that to you in a minute and what did you say, 50 something seconds?
Yeah.
54 seconds.
Yeah.
Imagine when we get 10 full episodes of that drawn out.
Yeah. I've been rewatching it with my husband who, listened to our podcast. So he's like, hey, let's watch this show.
And you're still married. So congrats. I feel like we can keep on as we were. That's good.
Seriously.
Right. As you know, when I heard him listening to it outside doing yoga, I was like, wait a minute, that sounds like our podcast. What have I said about him exactly? Anyhow, worked out. But I'm really excited to sort of I give the trailer an A. I think they did a great job. I think they also helped to potentially intrigue new viewers, which of course is critical. It can't just be the same old people watching it, right? They want to have, and the bar's high, right? Wasn't it like the biggest release by Sundance and Shudder like ever or something?
Yeah.
So, no pressure, people. So
yeah, and they said it was the top series on Sky One.
Yeah.
So it had an effect, I'll tell you, on my dear friends that I sucked into reading the books. And then actually, yes, they did. One of them read all the books. I think the other one has only read the first one, maybe breezed through the second, but loved the show so much, just watch it on repeat. So I sent the trailer to them, like, just want to make sure you saw this. And both of their responses was, I need to go back and read the second book. I'm so excited, which I thought was a fun thing to draw out. So not only does it help to pull in, obviously we're coming to the party, right? Yeah. But it helped to invite new people. But I loved that that another effect of it was to make someone want to go back and reread again, which I know Janet has some wonderful logic as to why that's a great idea, and I fully subscribe to it, because you don't read it in the way that we first did, which is just, I have to know what happens. Scan, and miss some of the deeper, rich details that are included in there, including like some like really great dialogue between the characters, because you just need to know what happens. So I loved that the trailer had an effect on them to want to go, it wasn't just, I can't wait for this to air. It was, I've got to go read the book. And I was like, Deb Harkness, yes, well done.
I mean, I felt reinvigorated because it's been almost 2 years since season 1 premiered, and I'd kind of been feeling like, I mean, I know what happens. It's fine. I mean, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be happy, but I didn't feel excited. And then I watched this trailer X times, and
If you apply the COVID
on the wagon.
multiplier, by the way, it's been 2 years, but if you apply the COVID multiplier, I'm fairly certain it's somewhere around like 400 years. I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
is the actual time frame. So it just made it this time of just wanting. You know, we always wanted it, right? But like, I think this has just made us even more go back and visit things that are familiar, that your heart loves, the series being one, the books being one. So to have this and know like it's on the other side. Come on, let's just get through this year, and it's coming. It is coming.
2021 is already there. The first week in January, we are going to be able to escape to Elizabethan England, to another place.
I'm almost out of water, Janet.
I'm already,
and it's going to make us happy. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. We finally have something to look forward to.
Right? Anyway.
Yeah.
So this has been a new thing for us people who are watching. You should let us know how you like it.
Yeah.
And people who are listening,
Yeah.
as you were.
So, okay. So if you're listening to the podcast, we're also recording this for YouTube as well. Just so you know. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're like, I wonder what these people look like, you could go to YouTube and see what we look like.
Exactly.
Whew.
You could also see my cat, who makes an appearance. Yeah. Okay. So just a reminder, Discovery Witches Season 2 premieres on Sky One and Now TV in the UK and Sundance Now and Shudder on January 8th, 2021. Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Wait.
Yes. All right. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
I don't.
That's not that long away. It's not. Is that proper English? I don't even know. This thing makes me so excited. I'm not even sure I'm using proper English, but that is not that far off. That's like 2.5 months.
It's 2 candy holidays away. Halloween and Christmas are candy holidays for me. So it's 2 candy holidays away, and then we're there.
Wow.
Should I not be eating candy at Thanksgiving?
I mean,
fair.
you can.
That's
can.
Fine. That's great.
That's
good. There's at least 3 edible holidays to this one. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that as a marker. I'll take. I'm not candy in between there, but I'll take those. That's good.
Okay. Anything else? Anything? Let's go. Let's wrap it up. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time with us. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you feel inspired, you'll leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or leave a comment on YouTube. If you'd like to join in the conversation, find us on Twitter and Instagram at AllSoulsWW, on Facebook at All Souls Witchy Women Podcast and Blog, and online at AllSoulsWitchyWomen.com. See you soon.